All right. We are back for Roundtable Rams episode number 20. I am once again joined by Buddy and Billy, and we're going to be talking all about the schedule release for the Los Angeles Rams. A lot to talk about. A lot of good, a lot of. Well, let me just jump right into it. 7 primetime games. Holy hell.
Yep. Everyone wants to see Matthew Stafford, the MVP.
Seven.
That's insane.
They could give 2 to the Dolphins and still have 5. They could really do that and still have 5 primetime games. But,
the Jets are looking at them like
seriously.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
James, you cooked with that one. Let's go.
Like, really, though. So, this is, per Adam Schefter, this ties all time for the 2023 Bills and 2025 Chiefs in primetime games. So now, 2023 Bills, 2025 Chiefs, 2026 Rams all have 7 primetime games. Insane. Obvious reasons. First, could be Matthew Stafford's final year. Still up in the air. Sure. We don't know. We don't know if he's going to retire. Everybody wants to see him play, obviously. Reigning MVP. The Rams were knocking on the door of the Super Bowl. They should be right there, too, this season. So, 7 primetime games. Makes sense.
I mean, yeah. And the games that they're playing against, those divisional games, San Fran there, Seattle later in the season, and I imagine especially the last Seattle game is probably also going to be a prime time against the Chiefs, against Green Bay, against Buffalo. Those are amazing games. There's no surprise as to why they want to put those on at the prime spot.
Yeah, no, I mean, they start off the season with 3 consecutive primetime games. One on Netflix, one on ESPN/ABC, and then NBC. And all 3 teams, I believe, are going to be playoff teams. I think the Giants could make some noise this year, obviously with John Harbaugh right there. So
I don't know if I agree with that one. I don't know if I agree with that one.
I don't know.
I don't know if I agree with that one, but
they are the New York Ravens. They stole all the good players. They stole John Harbaugh.
I'll say this. I think they're going to be competitive. Do I think they're going to be a playoff team? It really, really depends on Jackson Dart not running into a wall and getting hurt. But
they got Pat Ricard.
No. Yeah, that too. But look, man, clearly a lot of people want to see the Rams. NFL, this is a huge, I want to say a huge bet, but it's a bet that, hey, although the Rams obviously are not Super Bowl champions, defending Super Bowl champions, they believe that they are one of the best teams in the league. They believe that they are the best team in the league by giving them 7, and they're the only team that has 7, right? This is a gamble by the NFL. They believe in the Rams, and I think the Rams have given them good reason to give them the most, right? Because you have the MVP in Matthew Stafford, you still have Sean McVay there, right? You have one of the best offenses, arguably the best offense in the league, and then you have a top tier defense, right? With a good pass rush and an improved secondary, like we've talked about in past podcasts. So a lot of eyes are going to be on the Rams. A lot of people want to see the Rams, and this is a big chance to show the NFL that, and to show more importantly their neighbors up north, hey, we are going to overtake the spot. You guys are not going to repeat.
What the hell even is a Seahawk, huh? No, so real quick too, 7 primetime games, I agree with you completely. It's for obvious reasons. I don't think anybody's mad that they got that many. No. It's people want to see the Rams. They're an exciting team. But the crazier aspect of this, 4 of their first 5 games are primetime games. That's what's crazy. I don't care that it's 7, 4, primetime, 1 break,
Fox.
primetime. That's crazy. Anyways.
Yeah. And they're long weeks too. You got Friday to Monday, Monday to late Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of time to rest and recover. So it's a little bit of, compared to some other teams that are roughing it out in the first few weeks, Miami.
I'll say.
It's very nice and complimentary of them to be like, and you can have a little rest between, because Matthew Stafford, you're getting old. Miami, you're really young, so get up and keep going.
Get out there.
That's it.
Nobody cares. Get out there.
It's like, all right, young kids, get in there. Granddad needs a rest. Matthew Stafford, you're old, but you're great, and you know that.
Yes.
He's aging like wine. Yeah, no, it's gonna put a little pep in their step a little swag, but it's gonna be real embarrassing real quick if anything happens to Matthew Stafford
Very
there.
true.
I don't know. Ty Simpson
No,
may
that's
come out swinging, but yeah, no, it's complimentary at least. I think really what I'm seeing is the long weeks, like getting that full week's rest to kind of recover it and jump back in there is real. James, I'm so sorry.
That's so crazy because you get all these long weeks and other teams are just like, screw you. You get an early bye. We don't care about you, jerks.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, look. If we're gonna put our tinfoil hats on, I mean, the NFL is really, really helping the Rams out here. But
Yeah.
that's not to say their opponents. They're just helping them out with those longer weeks. Their opponents are crazy. You know,
I will say they're jumping coast to coast to coast to coast for the first
That's a lot.
five. I wonder with the Philly game if they'll even stay, because sometimes teams stay over where they are.
Yeah.
To have to go
Right.
all the way back to come all the way back out east might be less beneficial for them. So
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, again, I disagree with the Giants being a playoff team for sure, but you know, you got the 49ers, you got the Broncos, you got the Eagles, you got the Bills. You got a couple softer weeks, but Arizona's still a divisional opponent. Then you got the Chargers, you got the Commanders, who I think are going to come back in a big way, and then you got the Cardinals
you
again.
skip those Raiders real quick.
Come on,
Yeah.
come on. Like, look, Raiders fans, they'll come after me, but come on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
True.
I'm just saying, like, they have long weeks, but they have tough opponents. Those first 7 games, so they don't get, you know, the benefit of that. Yeah, they don't get no breaks in terms of the quality of opponent.
No.
No, that's true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like a lot of people don't want to see them, but at the same time, you know, primetime games come with some primetime matchups, right? And that's exactly what we have in our hands right here. You know, yeah, those four of the 5 clearly playoff teams. I think they won for those 5 teams. They won a combined 49 games last year, which is just insane, right there. Yeah, I mean. Who do you guys think is the best from the bunch? I would say maybe like Buffalo, but even then, right? Like you have the Niners, who obviously have played them tough since Kyle Shanahan's been head coach there.
I'm gonna go out on maybe not. I'm not that much of a limb. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think one of the toughest teams in 2026 is gonna be the Denver Broncos. I think they were good. They got better. They got Jalen Waddle now. Like I think they're gonna be a ridiculously good team. So week 3. You're playing the Broncos. I think it's going to be a real tough game. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, to be honest.
Yeah, and I realized I was looking at it wrong. They have actually got 2 home games to start the season, but then they're on the road twice over on the East. So they're at home, away, at home, away, at home.
Must be nice.
Yeah, Billy, and that home game is in Melbourne, Australia, too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So again, we don't count those because it's like, again, you have to travel. Australia, like. Who knows? Hopefully they don't go into the bush and get bitten by some weird giant spider that lives in Australia. Please don't do that.
Goodness sake. Yeah, but for them, at least, like, of all the other teams, to have to go to Australia, they're the closest. You know? It's not the same as going over the entire... Hey, look, it's not New England going all the way...
Yeah, I mean, sure, okay. I'm just saying.
They want an Australian game? Okay, it's going to be the 2 California teams. Get over.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I watched too much Discovery Channel, and I would never go to Australia because of everything that lives there. If there's Australian people listening, I'm so sorry, but your country scares the hell out of me. I'll just say that, and I'm saying this to the Rams. Please don't go into the bush and. Just stay away, man.
Don't do like some jungle cruise
you get any
Monday.
Emails about like
Puka Nakua bitten by rare spider and his leg has elephantitis or something. Like, just stay in your hotel rooms. Anyway,
the first year for an Australian game too, so we really don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right, fine. That one's not necessarily a home, but they're going backwards.
Sure. No, yeah, I mean, like, I think the Bills are probably the best team that they're going to face in that 5-week stretch. But, James, I mean, yeah, Denver Broncos, it's kind of weird that you say that, right? Because they won 14 games last year. But at the same time, like, that was really an unexpected 14 games that they won last year. with Bo Nix and Sean Payton. But yeah, I mean, they just got even better. They retooled their offense, and their defense is still quite a juggernaut. And I think more importantly, I think the head of the snake there is Sean Payton. I mean, Sean Payton's still one of the best coaches in the league. And he's clearly guided, Bo Nix to. I think he's going to reach another level that he could get to. Although he's quite a older, younger quarterback in a way, right? But yeah, I mean, Denver's still going to be a juggernaut. They clearly have a bad taste in their mouth with how their season ended, similar to how the Rams in the championship game, right? So I think these both teams are going to be out to show that, hey, we are next up in line, right? This is our year. And yeah, I mean, Denver, and it's going to be at Denver too, although it's a late September game. I would still expect it's going to be pretty cold. And yeah,
Cold in those mountains.
yeah, and the Rams are going to certainly be tested and have their hands full to start the year, just like that.
Yeah, I'm team Denver's the hardest because we don't know what Buffalo's going to be. It's always hard to change head coach, and even though it's someone who was in the team and can probably just continue the legacy with changing a few things up, I still think that they're going to take a minute to find their feet. They should have found them by week 5. But I think, yeah, Denver for sure is going to be one of their toughest opponents. Only because I would even say I would go with San Francisco, but because it is away, I do think that is just quite, a hard, you just don't know how they're going to be, either one of them, after that travel.
Yeah, exactly.
And that time difference is not the 8 hours that it is in London. It's like 12, 14 hours. So.
Yeah, I think that game's gonna start off kind of weird, Billy. I agree. Like, it's probably not. The game's probably gonna start to like the third quarter, just because teams are getting adjusted to each
So you'd
other.
be like, oh wait, it's week 1 of the NFL season, guys.
Right.
And this is a divisional game. We need to wake up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they have they're 13th in toughest schedule, so they're not quite middle of the road. They're not quite at the bottom. They're they have a tough schedule. Regardless, they have a tough schedule.
Yeah.
They're playing a lot of playoff opponents, and again, like we're discussing, just those first 5 games. The 49ers, the Broncos, the Eagles, and the Bills. And if what Buddy predicted is true, then the Giants are going to be playing tough too.
Sure.
I agree with that.
Moving right, to be honest, like they don't even have a really good break of like softer opponents.
No, they don't.
If we're being honest, because then you look at weeks 6 through 10, the Cardinals twice, which again divisional opponent,
Sure,
and they're always going to be playing tough. And I'll just say I don't think the Cardinals are going to be that great, but whatever, Still,
right.
It's a divisional opponent.
Yeah,
but
division's different.
Yeah, and then you got the Raiders. The Chargers are going to be tough, and I think the Commanders are going to be tough. So
because that's technically a home game for them too.
Yeah. And then you have your bye in week 11. Again, later bye. Great. Not that bad.
Yeah,
but
especially
then
for a veteran team.
But then you're facing nothing but playoff teams to end the season. The Packers.
Minus Dallas.
I'll say I predict them to be a playoff team. I'll just say
Sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. Me too.
The Packers, the Chiefs, the 49ers again, the Cowboys, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and then Seattle again.
That's where my head immediately went when I saw the schedule was the Seattle, Tampa, Seattle. I was like,
that's
not nice.
Again, I brought this up in our other pod. I'll bring it up now. The NFL is really, really trying to manufacture that division race because it came down to the wire for the Rams. It was a 3-way tie between the Seahawks, the Seahawks, the Niners, and the Rams to end the 2025 season. And then they started like separating from one another. So with this final schedule, it could be the same exact thing going on.
I fully predict it to be. And if the chips fall how they did last year, it's going to be between Seattle and LA.
Yeah.
So those final 3 games are really going to mean something. So it's really going to be your due diligence to stay healthy this entire season and get to those games to truly contend.
Yeah. No, yeah, those last 3 games are going to be tough. And guys, if we think it's going to play out how it is with the NFC and NFC West with the Seahawks and the Rams are going to have 8 primetime games because that Week 18 game is going to be either a Sunday night game. Well, no, it's going to be a Sunday night game, and possibly that Tampa Bay game too, right? So, I mean, if the Rams are who we think they're going to be, they might have 9 primetime games. And but yeah, certainly the schedule doesn't do them any favors. I mean, it's good that they get that week 11 bye, because then obviously that short week play that Thanksgiving Eve. But after that, just in terms of their opponents, it's going to be so tough. I mean, the good thing is that they have week 12 and 13; those are going to be home games. But it's going to be the furthest thing from a cupcake or from a soft type of thing, right? I mean, you have Green Bay, Kansas City, and the Niners. I mean, yeah, Kansas City wasn't a playoff team last year, but by then, Patrick Mahomes should be really more towards himself in that early December game. So that's just going to be tough. And then yeah, Billy, like you said, I was really looking at that where Seattle's going to be slotted at, because last year they played them in week 11 and then week 16, both really great games. And right now it's week 16, their first game against them, and then week 18. So yeah, clearly the NFL thinks that these two teams are the best in the league. I think going into the season, these two teams are the best in the league. And once again, that should be the case in 2026. And they're going to be fighting for that NFC West. Like absolutely no disrespect to the 49ers. I think the 49ers are going to be pick up kind of right where they left off. They won 12 wins last year. We're kind of injury riddled as well. We'll see how that goes with the electromagnetic field or whatever that case is with the Niners. But
they have superpowers. Okay, read a comic book.
If they're healthy or healthy-ish, they're going to be right there in the mix with Seattle and LA. So the NFC West is one of the toughest divisions in the league, and there's three teams who could absolutely win it. Not only win the division, but possibly win it all if they play the cards right.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I was kind of inspecting the holiday situation. They're around Thanksgiving and around Christmas, right? Because it's showing me the times in UK times. So they're playing Christmas Day, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And they're playing the day before
Thanksgiving.
This made up new NFL day, Thanksgiving Eve, which they've never done. Yeah, I was like, all right. So they're doing Thanksgiving Eve for the first time ever, and then they played the last slot of the Christmas slate. So
deservedly so. Deservedly so. Nonetheless, it's gonna be tough. Yeah, but I feel like. I'm predicting the Rams to win at minimum 12 games, but the chunk of their schedule where they could really take advantage of is at week 6 to 10.
Yeah.
If they could go, 5 games? If they could go 4, they should go 4-1 at worst. But like I said, James, Commanders are gonna be good again. Yeah. Jaden Daniels, his health, right? That's what really was your downfall last year is a health or lack thereof of Jaden Daniels. So we'll see what happens there, but that chunk from 6 to 10, if they could really take advantage of that, plus obviously get some wins early in the year against those tougher opponents.
Mm-hmm. And then head into the bye.
Yeah, if they could head into the bye, maybe at worst 7-3. I don't know. Depends, right? There's a lot of factors that play into it. But if they could go, let's say, if everything's right with them, if they could go 7-3 heading on. Obviously they're riding squared for a shot at the number 1 seed in the NFC.
I think they probably go 5-3 in those first, or 3-2, excuse me, in those first 5 games. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the case. And if they go into that softer schedule, I think they probably win more than 2 of those games, if I'm being honest. Yeah. So then they'll go into the bye. What is that? 8-2.
8-2.
I think that's a very real possibility. And then I think you're right. And then you look at the last opponents, which are really tough. But can they win? You said 12. Can they win 4 of those games?
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. I think that maybe they get 1 against Seattle.
Yeah, they probably split the series.
That Green Bay one kind of scares me because, in terms of like that long layoff, like sure it's good for the rest, but could be a lot of rust there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just hope that the crowd comes out rocking, and because I've been to games where like the SoFi crowd is just rocking. Green Bay is going to be representing a lot for sure, without a doubt. There's gonna be a lot of Green Bay fans there. But if the Rams could do their part and show out and have that crowd rocking, because in prime time at SoFi Stadium, it's really really fun, guys. It's really really fun. James, I know you've been to a primetime game too.
Yeah.
Right, like it's really fun at SoFi. So if the Rams could really feed off that, whatever that is, they could really take advantage of that. Yeah, it certainly helps.
It does.
Right. So obviously that bye coming back, Green Bay maybe there, Kansas City, we'll see where they're at, right? By there I mean Patrick Mahomes, Dallas, and then maybe one in Seattle. So that's probably the ones I'm counting, and then maybe Tampa, but we'll see where Tampa's at towards the end of the year, right? So, they have a chance. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. Yeah, maybe at worst it could go 4-3. That's possibly good enough because we have them 8-2. So yeah, they'll be 12.
12.
Well, I will say about that whole bringing the divisional games to the end of the season, it does stop making those last couple games not for people not to tune in, because for teams like LA, for teams like Baltimore, who also have the same situation with the double divisionals at the end, or even more than double divisionals at the end,
right.
It stops you putting Lamar Jackson on the bench. It stops you putting Matthew Stafford on the bench. Those are the players that people are tuning in to see. And the second you kind of take them off the field, it's not. So as much as we're poking fun of it, it's actually, keeping the game entertaining as well, because Matthew Stafford has to show up against Seattle both times. He's going to have to do that. He's going to have to be playing right down to week 18. So yeah, it's not all just drama manufacturing, even though it kind of is.
Yeah. I mean, again, you have the reigning MVP. You have a squad that's good on both sides of the ball. They upgraded the secondary to deal with those high passing offenses. There's no excuses now. You know what I mean? Especially again, we don't know, but if this is truly going to be the final season in which Matthew Stafford plays, he's going to play harder than he's probably ever played in his entire career, as will the rest of the team. But we don't know. They're still working on that extension. That extension is going to tell us everything that we presumably need to know. If it's a multi-year extension, the belief is he'll be around. However, we also have discussed this. There could be a situation where it is a one-year deal. Ty Simpson takes over in 2027. Matthew Stafford goes to play for another team. We don't know. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of factors to think about. Yeah. There's a lot of what ifs, but the simple fact is, all that considering, you're going to be playing your butts off. You're going to be playing your butts off. You're going to be, especially because of how close the Rams were to a Super Bowl. And let's be very honest here. If they would have been the one to go to the Super Bowl, they would have 100% beat the Patriots as well. I just don't think the Patriots were good enough to, regardless of them getting to the Super Bowl, I just don't think the NFC was too good across the board. If it would have been the 49ers, if it would have been the Rams, it was the Seahawks, I think any one of those teams would have won the Super Bowl. So you think you look at it that way, and their schedule is what it is. I think exactly like you said, Billy, it's going to literally come down to those two Seahawks games. It's going to come down to that. Obviously, they're still going to go to the playoffs, but if they get the benefit of having home field advantage throughout and a first round bye, there you go. Maybe that's going to be what they need to get to the big game.
Yeah, the Rams rebuilt their team to beat the Seahawks. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
There's no question about it, right? They know who they have to get through. They know what's at stake. They know who exactly is lined up, right? Because the Seahawks came back loaded. They had a really good draft. They had a really good draft. Those rookies could come in and really make an impact on them too, right? So the Rams know what's at stake, and if things play out, which I believe they will, it's going to come down to Seattle and the Rams, and that the week 16 and week 18 is going to tell us a lot.
Going to be for the number one
honestly,
seed, I think.
Honestly, the Rams could go 14-0 if they lose to both those Seattle games. That's going to be crushing for them. I don't care how that's going to be crushing. That's going to be that, because that means a lot. That means a lot.
Go there again for sure.
Yeah, because then
you're gonna have to go there again.
Yeah, especially because then if you're already down 0-2 on the season, and then you go into the playoffs having to play them again, and clearly you would think that would mean the Seahawks have their number. You know what I
Sure.
mean? So,
Yeah.
and technically they do because of the series they played. They're 1-2,
Yeah.
including the NFC Championship game in 2025. So they already have their number.
Yeah.
But exactly like you just said, they rebuilt their secondary for the purpose of stopping Sam Darnold, who threw 3 touchdowns and over 350 yards, or almost 350 yards in the NFC Championship game. You have to stop Brock Purdy, all the high passers. There's Jalen Hurts. The NFC is literally built wall to wall with quarterbacks that can sling the ball. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders. There's so many of their opponents that will air it out. And again, like you just said, they rebuilt that defense in a way that they can stop those high passers.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll
That's
see.
that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That's there's clearly one objective for the Rams. There's no there's no moral victories. There's literally no moral victories. It's gonna be Super Bowl or it's gonna be. There's no way this happened again for the third year in a row. Another heartbreaking playoff loss.
There'll be some serious questions, I think, if they.
I don't know if they could afford that really, because the way that Jared Verse talked about the Eagles loss, the way he talked about the Seahawks loss just a couple months ago, that hurt. That hurt. You could tell that was like, oh man, like we just couldn't stop them. I felt like they felt that Sam Darnold was gonna have that Sam Darnold moment, right, in the NFC Championship game, and that just didn't come because they didn't make that happen, right? It was like Sam Darnold was just having his way, and credit to the Seahawks and their line, right, and to Clint Kubiak, who's not there anymore, by the way. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, they just didn't do anything to make him do that. And the plan is now to make him look more like he looked in Week 11 last year against them, and that first half of that Week 16 game up in Seattle. If they could do that, that's the Rams are going to be fine in that matchup. But that's a big if.
Yeah, I mean, and they have Jackson Smith and Jigba, who's just as good as Puka Nacua, arguably a little bit better production-wise. And now they have Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie to be the lockdown corners that they needed because the secondary was clearly not good enough to stop him. Because in the NFC Championship game, that was it. When they needed him to show up, showed up. And you take away that X factor, then you see what happens. The only worry still here is the health of Devontae Adams and who they have past that. But they did everything they needed to do to make sure they can stop Sam Darnold and they could stop Jackson Smith and Jigba. And and the Seahawks also don't have Kenneth Walker anymore, who went to the Chiefs. So that's another factor to think about as well.
True, Jim.
Yeah.
So.
Very true.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. It's going to be exciting to watch. Again, because especially if Sam Darnold does choose to walk away, this is going to be,
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, excuse me.
Matthew.
Sam Darnold. Can you walk
Sounds
away?
like what?
They're trading quarterbacks. No, Matthew Stafford. Sorry, Matthew Stafford. If he chooses to walk away, and especially too, I know you wrote about it. I know we said it, but the Super Bowl is going to be back in LA. So what better way to ride off into the sunset, presumably by going to the Super Bowl, winning in your home stadium, becoming the MVP of the Super Bowl, and then calling it a career. That's storybook. You don't
That's
get
exactly what they want to happen.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get opportunities like that in the NFL for it to ever pan out like that. There's just no way that anybody could ever predict or assume or that could happen. So you're just that this is how we're going to do it. And the Rams are in the perfect place. They've been voted as the most complete roster. They're number one in a lot of power rankings already. They're viewed as the best team in the league. Their only negative was that secondary. They upgraded that in a really huge way. Again, my only concern is the wide receiver room still a little bit. But other than that, there's no excuses. They have this schedule. They have some tough opponents. They have a softer middle part. They have a late bye. They have a lot of primetime games. And, primetime games, exactly like you had brought up, come with excitement and come with that primetime explosion, So we'll see how well they do. I don't know. It's going to be exciting to watch. I'll say that.
Yeah. Last thing I do want to say is literally the last thing that the Rams want is for Seattle to play in their stadium and win at their stadium, just like the Niners had to see them do. That's the last thing they want. So that's extra motivation. But also you have extra motivation for Seattle too, because like you just said, James, a lot of people are putting the Rams above them. Right? Seattle's like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah, they're the Super Bowl champions, but
we're the
Rams,
Super Bowl champions,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
we're the ones that are coming back for it, right? Not like the Rams. We beat them. We beat them twice in the past. Like what? Like
You don't
4
want to
weeks.
put a chip on the Seattle
Yeah,
shoulder
exactly.
because
So
they will not end good for you.
exactly. So I think both teams have a chip on their shoulder in a different type of way. So we're gonna see. I don't know whose chip's bigger, maybe, or whose chip's smaller, or however that case is.
Whose chip has more dip on it?
More dip. The dip.
I don't know.
We'll
I
see.
like where you were going with that. Not it's not a chip that you eat, but anyway.
Yeah, I know.
No, yeah, that's another good point. The motivation across the board, obviously for the Seahawks as well as the Rams. The Seahawks had a bit more changes. The Rams, not as much, except for obviously Nathan Shieldhouse is now the offensive coordinator.
Right.
So LaFleur went to the Arizona Cardinals. So but they lost Clint Kubiak. And so there's a lot to look at in terms of like who lost what, but overall regardless, these are the top two teams in the league. It's viewed that way. Everybody understands that. Everybody knows that. They're pitting them against each other. Obviously at the end of the season, those are two of their last games against each other. I think the number one seed will be up for grabs between those two games. Exactly like you said, if they drop both games to the Seahawks, that's not going to be great. But the Rams are expected to be a full-on playoff team and Super Bowl favorites right now.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This has been Roundtable Rams, episode number 20. We will be back in a couple of weeks. I will be out. I am going on vacation, so this podcast will be on hiatus for just a little bit. So go watch our past episodes. If you need that Roundtable Rams fix, comment on them. Tell us we're wrong. I don't know. Whatever it is you want to do. Please keep
Tell
listening.
James he's wrong.
Yeah, tell me I'm wrong. Not everybody else, just me. I'm the wrong one. That's fine. Come after me. I will comment back and we can talk crap all day long. I will not stop. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Roundtable Rams episode number 20. We will be back in a couple of weeks.